Hello. New Industrial Challenge is an online team simulator that is business game in which participants solve the main challenge of managing a high-tech enterprise under uncertain conditions, covering the entire product life cycle, from engineering and manufacturing through operation and disposal. The business game is a team competition that takes place in several rounds. Each round lasts for 8 years of enterprise management and is held simultaneously for all teams and the coach. The team has 4 distinct roles that work together to enhance an overall performance of the company, return on investments. At the first stage, the teams must decide on the selection of trends. To accomplish this, they will analyze the current market and evaluate the prospects for future development. After discussing the ideas, the teams will move on to the new stage of competition, participation in the market divisions, and submission of bids for orders for the production of aircraft engines. The commercial department will participate in the analysis of the financial situation, while the engineering and production department will analyze the constraints associated with the existing workload of the company. At the end of the bidding process, the team that offers the most favorable terms to the client will win. The next stage, engineering, is actively involved. The teams need to select or develop specific aircraft engine models according to the requirements of tenders. During this stage, participants will need to determine a strategy for product life development, unification or speed of production, or targeting specific markets. When all specific engine models are selected, the roles of production and procurement are activated. In production, the most important task to be solved is planning. We see that there are orders that need to be delivered on time, and the volumes of these orders are not uniform. There are tools available to solve this global problem, such as berth separation, regulations of number of work shifts, and the use of MRP and CRP. There are very powerful tools and are practical tools to use here. In this way, the production worker tries to regulate and plan production facilities. However, here we came across a feature of the simulator. There are 2 calculation methods in the game. One according to the norms, which is planning, and the second is calculated based on the normalized values. And the second calculation formula is real, taking into account the normal distributions of values and deviations. The instructor can decide and include different level of deviation, from 1 to 3 sigmas. Thus, it's important to the term not only to design, but also to protect their production from various risks. And then other tools came to rescue, including production ones. You can manage warehouses, manage insurance stocks or raw materials, and manufacturing parts, use lean manufacturing tools, and so on. As a buyer, the main task is not only to prepare contracts for the supply of necessary spare parts, but also to determine the best condition, taking into account possible risk, but also not to overpay for reinsurance. There are flexible tools that take into account all possible nuances for the real sector. Lead time, delivery windows, quality management, reliability, selections of replacement suppliers, entry control, and more. Thus, at this stage, the team is trying to plan everything according to the norms and took into account the risk when conducting a real simulation. The next step is to run a simulation and analyze the results. This will allow the team to see the outcomes of how all activities actually took place over a 4-year period. Based on these results, they can adjust their management decision and plan for the next 4 years. This concludes the entire rounds, during which the team have completed, established production and developed their own management solutions. At the conclusions of the round, expert panel discussions are held with the teams, and the next round begins, completely replicating the previous process. During the game, we can customize the passage scenario, making it more difficult with each new round. Thanks for your attention. See you in a new reality.